So welcome. We're going to be here for about 60 minutes or so. And what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about how leadership harmony will accelerate success in all areas of your life, personally and professionally. Okay. So this is a safe and an open space. It's going to nourish your mind, your body, and your soul. Please ask questions. It's collaborative. And most of all, we're going to have some fun. Okay. So before we begin, we're going to take a few moments and we're going to take some breaths to slow down. We don't pause not long enough in our busy lives. And it's often the simplest of things that give us the biggest ripple of impact in our world. Okay, so with that, I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes and follow my lead. We're going to begin with a long, deep breath slowly through your nose, hold, and then exit through your mouth. Okay, so in through your nose, close your eyes. And I want you to hold for 3 seconds. And I want you to feel the sensation in your body. I'm going to invite you to feel the weight in your feet and imagine all of your stress exiting through your feet into the ground as you slowly breathe out through your mouth. We're going to do this 2 more times. Take another long, deep breath in, same manner as the first. And as you hold for 3, I want you to check in with your emotions. How do you feel? Are you anxious? Are you excited? Are you grateful? We're going to slowly breathe out through our mouth, and we're going to imagine ourselves becoming more relaxed and more alert at the same time. And we're going to take a final breath. We're going to hold in through our nose. We're going to hold for 3. And this time I want you to ask yourself, what is the most important thing for me to focus on right now? And breathe out. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. So I have a question for you. How important is balance or harmony in your life or in your business? Please go ahead and share in the comments. And I think I can just see the Zoom comments. So if there's any live stream, I'm going to ask that they get shared in the Zoom comments. Please and thank you. So how important is balance or harmony in your life and in your business? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Very important and sometimes challenging. Absolutely. And so today we're going to talk about how we can create more balance and harmony in really simple ways. Okay. So first, I want to share a little story. 15 years ago, I got the tattoo Live with Intent on my back. And at the time I was going through a lot and I needed some inspiration. And if you would have told 30-year-old Amy that 10 or 15 years later, she'd be running her own company called Live with Intent, she wouldn't have believed you. As you can tell, intention is a very important part of who I am. It helps me stay in alignment with my purpose, and living with intention has gotten me to where I am today, which is talking with you, which is doing what I love, which I'm so grateful for. And I always set a personal intention that my audience is going to walk away with at least one thing that's going to help you with a particular problem or challenge that you're looking to solve, right? I also like asking my audience, what's your intention for our time here together today? What's the best thing that you could take away, the best thing that you could receive? So please go ahead and set your intentions now. And if you feel like sharing in the comments, please go ahead and share in the comments as well. So today, how many of you would like to learn how to decrease your stress, create more work-life balance, and accelerate your success? I'm going to show you how you can do this simply by confidently trusting your self-leadership, balancing your inner masculine and your inner feminine energy, and creating a sustainable system that is going to prioritize your well-being. So first, who am I? My name is Amy Jones, And I'm 45. I'm a wife and a mom. I've got 3 little humans running around. And I'm the founder of Live with Intent, which is a mind, body, soul wellness company. So before, on paper, my life checked all the boxes. I had the nice house, the nice car. I was working in corporate. I was engaged. I had a young child. And in 2017, after the birth of our second child, my world came crashing down. I was faced with some very serious relationship trust issues. And at the time, I was not strong enough to lead myself. So I looked for help. I connected randomly with an amazing woman. She introduced me to energy healing, and my life changed in an instant. I learned about chakras. I learned about masculine and feminine energy. I learned about the subconscious. I meditated for the first time ever. I was hooked. I remember thinking, oh my God, where have you been my whole life? How did I not know that this world existed? For the first time in my life, after years of counseling and years of therapy, I finally felt as though I was no longer putting a band-aid on the surface of my issues. I was getting to the core, to the root of the problem, which for me was lack of trust, fear of abandonment, and poor self-worth. And I did a lot of healing. You name it, I tried it. Before, I couldn't get out of my head. I was a doer. I was a hustler. I was a control freak. I was constantly fantasizing about the future. Living in the present was non-existing, and leading with my heart was a completely foreign concept to me. I was living a life of lies, of codependency, of addiction, of unhealthy relationship attachments. And my life was a mess. I didn't trust anything in my world because I didn't trust myself. But when I learned how to lead and honor all of me in balanced masculine and feminine energetic harmony, my whole world changed. My mind stopped spinning and I was able to get quiet and listen. And I rebuilt my foundation solid from the ground up. And I'm really proud of the woman that I am today. And I always cry, so this is what it is. A year ago, I exited my corporate business sales career. Our family moved 5 hours away to what I call a little piece of paradise, and life moves very different. I taste the moments instead of hurrying over them in a rush. I linger. Life feels richer. It's more meaningful. There's depth to it. I speak my truth and I face my fears, even if they scare me. Because I have the courage to feel it all, because I know that I can hold it all now. And I'm absolutely not perfect, but I have found what works for me, and that is to live with intention. And as I lead myself in harmony, I empower those I love to lead in harmony as well. Because I trust you to lead. Because I trust myself to lead. And because I now listen to the whispers of my heart. And I have created a life and a business that is purposeful, that is heart-centered, rich, and expansive. And I want to help you do the same. Accelerate your success with leadership harmony. So I'd love to hear from you. Who here in our audience today has something that you have learned personally that could help your peers accelerate their success? Feel free to drop it in the comments and share so that we can celebrate that with you. And as people are commenting, and maybe you're watching on replay, and that's okay, for those that comment, what are you learning about your peers and what they're sharing? Because it's important and it's impactful, and we all have a beautiful story to share. So in order to understand how to lead in harmony, you first need to understand what leadership harmony is and why this original archetype is resurfacing as a new healthy alternative to our historical hierarchical model of leadership. When you don't feel safe to trust, you control more. When you don't feel safe to let go, you hold more. When you don't feel safe to surrender, you do more. When you don't feel safe to relax, you constrict more. And when you don't feel safe to give, you really struggle to receive. The purpose of trust is to help you feel safe and secure in the world so that you can have the freedom to give and receive as you desire. Your only sole purpose in life is to enjoy life. That's it. And you do this by trusting yourself to feel safe and secure so that you can give and receive in abundance without any attachments or dependencies to any people, places, or things that limit your freedom to be in joy, consciously or unconsciously. So trust is the first stage we learn in psychosocial development and relationship development. This begins, when we're developing in the womb, and it goes until about age 2, and it helps a child feel safe and secure in the world. And when you successfully develop trust, mostly this comes through what your parents teach you. It creates a solid foundation. So I have a reflection exercise for you. I want you to think about how you were raised as a child, what you learned from your parents. Now I want you to think about what your parents maybe learned from your grandparents. What was going on in the world at that time? What was going on in their lives personally? Perhaps your childhood sounded something like this. Do as you're told. Finish your dinner. Make your bed. Don't talk back to me. Yes, sir. No, sir. I'm too busy. You can begin to see how all of these possible areas could have established an instability of trust. And this is no fault to your parents. This is a different generation. They were doing what they could at the time. They raised you the best that they could. So this is based on what they knew and what they were exposed to. So maybe you get older and then your household sounds something like this. Go to school, get a job, get married, buy a house, have some kids, invest in your pension. Do as I do because it's worked for me, so I know it's going to work for you. Never really stopping to ask yourself, wait a minute, what do I feel? What do I want? Whose life am I living, mine or my parents? Share in the comments who can relate. I go deep, I'm a reflector. So as a young child, maybe your foundation of trust was wobbly. Maybe you were looking outside of yourself for safety. Maybe you weren't taught or given adequate space to learn how to trust. Perhaps this caused a false sense of safety, an out of balanced inner system, because you're outsourcing your leadership. So outsourcing your leadership simply means that you're knowingly or unknowingly allowing somebody else to make the decisions for you. And this causes a friction with your internal guidance system, your nervous system, your intuition. There's a dissonance between what you're doing and who you are. So the result is your mind and your heart are out of sync. You're unable to self-regulate. Your internal system doesn't know how to calm down. You don't know what it feels like because you were never taught. This is uncomfortable. So you keep running from these feelings, good or bad, oh my God, I want everything, but I don't know how to hold it. And I don't want to look at that. That's too much. I'm just going to stay in my safe little bubble. So it creates this inauthentic level of predictability. Well, at least if this happens, I know this is going to occur. So I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. So we keep seeking externally people, places, and things. They're going to bring this false regulation into us because we don't know how to do it ourselves. Anxiety happens from this, stress, addiction, dependencies, attachment issues, health issues, exhaustion, burnout, control issues. And the crazy part is we don't even know we're doing this because 97% of how we operate is subconscious, based on old patterns, old thoughts, and old beliefs that we learned as a child, that our parents maybe taught us and that they learned and that our grandparents learned, because we're all part of the same DNA. I look like my mom. There's a lot going on inside of me that I don't see. So if my leadership is outsourced, which creates this false sense of stability within me, which limits our ability to self-trust, to act on us, because we don't know how this feels, because we were never really taught how to hold it, because 97% of how we operate is unconscious anyway, based on these old predictable patterns and habits. How do we fix this? We begin by practicing self-trust. Your fear is going to scream at you, and your intuition is going to whisper. And there is always a physical response with your intuition. Sometimes it's so subtle that you miss it. Sometimes there's so many layers of things, so much noise in our world that we don't even give it a chance to hear. So when in doubt, we're going to go really slow. We're going to build our intuition by exploring what trust looks and feels like within our body. We're going to learn how to hold space for ourselves. We're going to learn how to love ourselves just as we are. No criticism, no judgment, just as we are. And this might be new, and this might be scary and uncomfortable. And no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're just beginning or you're a seasoned pro, there is always room for depth and richness and expansion into the connection and deepening the relationship that you have with yourself. We're always learning and growing. We're human. So just look at this through the lens of progress, not perfection. Okay. So in my program, The Aligned Women, Reclaim Your Self-Leadership, trust, as you can tell, is a foundational pillar of success. Vanessa, I'd like to share a story with you about a lovely client and friend of mine who I worked with. She came to me and she initially felt sad. She had this flat energy. She was unhappy. She was overwhelmed. She hated her job. She was a teacher. Her marriage was on the brink of divorce. Her relationship with her children was really difficult, and she didn't know what to do. But she knew she needed to change. So we started at the very beginning. We looked at her core values. We looked at her goals, how she spoke to herself, how she took care of herself, how she managed her time. And we rebuilt her foundation solid from the ground up based on her level of self-trust. Nobody else's. Within a few weeks, she was standing taller. She was speaking more confidently. And by the end of our 3 months together, her confidence had skyrocketed. She was calmer. She was more relaxed. She fell back in love with a job she was ready to quit. Her and her husband were more in love, and she was calmer and more relaxed with her kids. She was in the exact same situation, which she was ready to change 3 months previous, but she was just looking at it through the lens of self-trust and harmony. And this is why trust is so foundational and so important, because you don't need to rip and replace everything. It all starts from here. When you change, everything around you changes. So now we're going to look at what energy is. The impact that energy has on leadership and relationships. So understanding energy is an excellent way to expand into leadership harmony. I love this quote by Albert Einstein. Everything is energy. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. So we're not going to have a science class. I just want you to know, for the purpose of this conversation, how energy works at a super high level perspective. Energy controls how a system operates. And the way that you control a system, and a system is your inner system, your relationship with yourself, because everything is a system and everything is a relationship. You add energy by heat and you remove energy by cooling, changing the way a system operates. Remember that. So what does physics have to do with relationships? Energy is the capacity of doing work. You know how energy works. You have the ability to change the way any system or any relationship operates based on your level of self-trust. And that is why it is so important that we start with trust first, because you have to be able to understand, is this my leadership or somebody else's leadership that's helping me change this system? The law of attraction states like energy attracts like energy. So this is good energy or bad energy. So I'm going to invite you to trust your self-leadership, to practice being in the vibration that you want to attract. And anything that's resonating at that frequency is going to attract with you. Okay. And anything that's not, you're just not going to be on the same page. You're going to miss it. So what's masculine and feminine energy? This is like my whole world. So there's 12 universal laws, and the law of gender states masculine and feminine energy is in everything, okay? Regardless of gender, whether you're a woman, a man, a cat, a dog, a tree, it's in everything. And they are both of equal importance and of equal value and of equal strength independently. So historically, much of society has traditionally operated in more of a masculine hustle energy, go, 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 do, work, work, work. This hasn't offered us much space for our feminine energy within us to just be, to change how these energies communicate within us. Remember, we talked about how you change the energy. We need to first be honest with ourselves. We need to trust ourselves. We need to have the courage to create that change, to step forward, to add heat, to lean back, to cool, even if we feel uncomfortable, even if this is scary, even if this is unknown. Use your self-trust to anchor you as your point, your 0 point of change to go forward. Just like trust, both of these energies are deeply rooted in the subconscious. Both know their purpose and pursue it relentlessly, and they're not going to thrive without the other. Survive, yes. So what happens when you're in an imbalanced masculine and feminine energy? These are pretty obvious. I'll share these with you so you can just see from a reflection. You're going to have more stress. You're going to have more anxiety, exhaustion, poor boundaries, unhealthy attachments and dependencies, lack of trust, limited joy, limited pleasure. So what does it look like when you're in more balance and harmony within your inner masculine and inner feminine energy? Those issues will diminish and disappear. You're going to have more self-confidence. You're going to achieve your goals easier. You're going to have improved communication, more effective collaboration, less pain, more pleasure. So I want you to imagine for a moment, day without night, winter without summer, fear without love, thought without emotion. Duality in life exists because we have these polarities. This is another universal law. Masculine and feminine are this yin and yang of polarity. So you have the yin swirl with like a black swirl and then the white swirl on the bottom. And within each swirl, there's a dot of the different opposite color representing within all of us, there is both of these energies. They're not 50-50 balanced, they are harmonious. I actually have, I think, 60 or 70% masculine energy within me. But I'm a woman. It doesn't matter who you are. My soul designed this blueprint, and here we are. So your feminine energy is your emotion. It's your intuition. It's your nurturing, your sensuality, your collaboration, receiving. And your masculine energy is your logic, protection, stability, action, giving. And this is what it looks like in communication. This is an example of healthy and unhealthy communication characteristics of the masculine energy and the feminine energy that we all have within us. So you can see again how important trust impacts energy and vice versa. So I'm going to pause and ask if there's any questions. How is this for everybody? Feel free to drop a comment. Feel free to comment in the replay. Thank you. So now we know what a masculine and a feminine energy is. How do they want to work together in partnership? Interdependently, not codependently. Your feminine energy concretely, intuitively knows what she wants. Okay, she wants more resources to collaborate with, but she wants the right resources. She wants the right community, the right connections, so that she can just be in this beautiful creative flow, so that she can just continue to innovate and grow and expand. Remember, this is energy. And then your masculine energy within you, he's just devoted to the feminine, makes it happen through action. Think about it like this container. The masculine holds the feminine. And where we're butting up into issues is, remember the old hierarchical way of doing things, the hustle, go, 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 not honoring the feminine leadership and partnership, causes friction, it causes exhaustion, it causes control issues. So as we continue to release these old ways of doing, and we honor the importance and the significance and the strength and the qualities of the feminine energy within us, the quieter, the subtler, the more balance you're going to bring to this relationship, the stronger, the healthier it'll become, the more trust, the more respect, the more love you're going to develop within yourself. Think about it in the context, happy wife, happy life, right? I want you to remember our greatest potential as humans is met when we bring balance and harmony to our inner masculine and our inner feminine energy. This energetic dance is this highest act of trust in a partnership that you can hold within yourself and within every single thing you connect with in this world. It's confidence, it's empowering, and it's loving. So I'm going to check in with you guys and see how you're feeling. Yeah, shifting from masculine and feminine has been a walk in the park, but enacting both at the same time is another level, apparently. Would love examples of how both can be in the current energy in one person. Ooh. How to balance. Great lead-in question. So we're going to start with the ladies first because the feminine energy leads. Okay. So I'll give you an example in a minute. So first thing, here's some ways that you can bring more of that feminine energy into your world. So you may know some of these, you may not. Depending where you're at, you can always deepen this experience. So movement and flow. Really anything that's going to help you get out of your head and into your body and feel your senses. Moving, walking, hiking, running, okay? Exploring creativity. Doing something you love just for fun, with no agenda, no time limit. Music, art, dancing, writing, sports. creating a sacred space for you. So this is really a sacred space that you have with yourself intimately, and then also in communication with others, because we are human and we do want to communicate with others. This could be like a place that you go and meditate at your home, or if you're a man, it's like a man cave, right? Or it could be women's circles. I host a weekly women's business leadership circle, or it could be men's groups. No judgment, no distraction, no problem solving, using that masculine energy to hold you in a container so that the feminine can just be and feel really, really good or feel really, really bad. And it doesn't matter. He's got her. Self-love. Feminine energy is about receiving. And I remember when I first started my healing journey, that was a really tough pill to swallow. I literally had to start giving myself bubble baths, but we're naturally givers by design. And it's important for us to give to ourselves first, to fill up our own cup first. Do something nice for yourself. Take yourself out on a date. You're putting your makeup on in the mirror, linger and just dote on yourself and appreciate who you are without any criticism, without any judgment. And welcome curiosity. The feminine energy is curious by nature. Questions. Questioning yourself, questioning others. Wonder why I feel that way. Isn't that interesting? Keep asking questions. So now I'm going to show you how you can integrate and interact these two energies together. Many of us unknowingly reject the inner feminine. We're constantly in this state of survival, hustle, go, 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 competition, performing. We have no problem showing our masculine action, but we submit and hide our feminine. We're afraid of being seen as weak or too emotional or what have you. And a lot of this is unconscious. But the truth is, the more vulnerable you are, showing both of your energies in their authenticity, equal importance and value, the more you feel good, the more everybody else feels good, because they're going to feel that energetic difference. So here's an example. You can use this think of it like in a marriage or a partnership. Okay. So I'll use this example with my husband and my wife. Oh my gosh, with my partner and myself. I'll give you an example of yourself internally as well. So you're each really good at something. You might not know this because you're too busy doing everything, or your husband's too busy doing everything because you're not doing enough. Like, I didn't know my husband liked to do laundry, so I would do it. He didn't know that I liked to sweep and dust, so he would do it. And then inserts the obligation, resentment, entitlement loop, because nobody's talking, because we're assuming. So you pause, you have a conversation, you let go of control, you release the energy from the situation, create space for somebody else to come forward and take up that energy doing something that they love. You might be good at something, but they're great at something. And so now you're both happy. And this is the exact way that you collapse time on your success, by doing less and receiving more, because you're both doing something you really love or you're really great at, as opposed to something that you're good at. So think about it like in the context of this. I've come ahead and I've prepared this presentation for you. I have no problem talking in front of a camera, but I wanted to have slides for my presentation. So the feminine energy within me said, okay, this is what I want. So the masculine energy within me said, great, we're going to go make the slides. We created this beautiful slide deck for you to enjoy and appreciate, which now holds me. So I have a path to follow as I'm teaching. You get to experience and feel held because I'm telling you where we are. There's a beginning and a middle and an end. We have a time limit. And so that masculine energy of holding, of safety, of containering, of stability and structure is allowing the feminine energy within me to ebb and flow and go where we need to serve you during the course of this conversation. And it's going to be different with everyone. But hopefully that kind of gives you some context of how these two energies work together. So I have a reflection homework question for you. I want you to think about if there's any parts of yourself that you maybe reject because you think they're too weak, or maybe they're not good enough. Do you wish you were more or less ambitious? Maybe you're afraid to speak your truth in certain circumstances. I know I certainly was in early codependent relationship traumatic issues, you know? Yeah, I'm just reading. I used to reject my inner feminine brought about by a relationship with a very non-masculine male partner. Yeah, absolutely. Because he's stepping away. He's cooling the energy in the system. And because energy needs to be in motion, you obligation step in, and then you resent him because you can't have this void. And so then you end up doing more because he's not stepping up, because he's got all these traumas and these shadows and whatnot. And it creates an out of balance. Totally understand. Yeah, exactly. And unless both parties want to come together and honor and respect and love each other in harmonious partnership, you're just going to keep going like this. And back to that like attracts like. Your energy frequency is going to be so separate. There's going to be friction initially, but then eventually you're not even going to feel each other, right? And so he'll stay at this level and you'll stay here, and you'll then connect with other people that are on the same frequency. It's called sympathetic resonance. I had a video of it in the deck, but I didn't share it, and I can share it with it if you want. So the next thing that you're going to do to bring this balanced, harmonious relationship within yourself is practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is no longer a nice to have. It is a must have. We all are part of a busy world. There's lots of noise. There's so much going on. I have 3 kids. Like, if I could practice mindfulness all the time, but I do the best that I can, and I bring it in as much as I can. And now that I've got a sense of leadership on it, I can bring it in more. But if you're just starting, it's literally a way that's going to help keep you healthy. It's going to help support your self-regulation. But most important, it takes you away from reacting to a situation. And it creates just a micro moment of pause so that you can check in with yourself, trusting your intuition and leadership so that you can choose how to respond. That is the change point. That's the change point. So how do you practice this? You pause. And if you literally have to put a timer on your phone to do this, like I had to at the very beginning, because, we're creatures of habits. I had to learn how to pause. I had to learn how to not multitask. So you're going to pause. You're going to observe your thoughts more frequently, always if possible. You're going to catch yourself when you're thinking something positive or negative about you or somebody else. And you're just going to allow yourself to feel. You're going to use that masculine energy within you to just hold your feminine, to just feel it. No judgment. This is good or bad. This is this beautiful dance. Your inner masculine giving space to your feminine so she feels safe. So she can be held so that she can receive, because she's supposed to receive that exact intuitive guidance point, that little nugget of wisdom that you need to go right into your heart right here. No more, no less. And then your masculine energy grounds it into action, this intuitive wisdom that you receive. This strength and trust and flow of partnership raises your frequency, creates more harmony. This is the exact key that unlocks the puzzle of you doing less and receiving more and collapsing time on your success. So remember, to welcome harmony, you're going to strive for balance. Neither energy is going to thrive without the other. Sounds easy, I know, but we're human. And I'm just going to invite you to practice. I'm going to invite you to live with intention. So when you desire change, you're going to trust your self-leadership. You're going to have the courage to step forward or to lean back, to create the space for the energy to be added or removed, change how you control the system, to bring more balance and harmony to your system, to satisfy your human desire to grow and evolve. Guarantee you do this and you're going to feel the difference. Deeper connections, stronger partnerships, the right relationships, better communication and time management. innovation, growth, creative expansion. Okay. Again, we're human. We have fears, we have core wounds, we have vulnerabilities. I am here if you need help. Absolutely. Okay. I'm going to skip over this because I want to keep an eye on the time. Basically, that was an example of how we bring the masculine and the feminine energy into a corporate business environment. Okay. Because this is everywhere. It starts here, but this can absolutely be used in any relationship and any system that you connect with. So the last section, I'm going to actually get you ladies, can you please drop the link to download the worksheets into the chat, please? And so the last section, we're going to tie everything together. We're going to create a system that is sustainable, that's going to prioritize your wellness. We're going to do this by deconstructing your goals and rearranging your current system so that you can hold everything in your hands without dropping anything. Okay. Thank you. So you can go to this link and download. Time permitting, we're not going to do the exercises today, but it's a link to download the free worksheets that I've created that go along with this presentation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And we're going to see if we can get this done in 15 minutes for you. So you can't manage a system that you don't measure. You can't improve a system that you don't properly manage. So maybe you feel unsatisfied or disorganized or directionless. Maybe you're overwhelmed or exhausted. There's so much to do and not enough time. You want deeper, more meaningful, more impactful relationships. You have a good life, but you want a fucking fabulous life. Wellness goals are going to help you decrease your stress, reduce your anxiety, promote healthy boundaries. This is so important for work-life balance, and increase your confidence and your success. So we all know what goals are, but for today's conversation, I really want you to feel into what healthy wellness actions that you can commit to completing daily in support of your highest success. Remember what we've just learned, how to connect with your feminine and how to bring more of this balanced leadership with your feminine and your masculine energy, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to establish the right goals based on your truth, your desires for your highest aligned success, nobody else. You're going to do this by dreaming big. You're going to make a list of every single thing you've ever wanted to create, to experience, to taste, to touch, to travel to. Look at all key areas of your life: spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, relationship, career, and financial, okay? And if you allow yourself to hold this big, massive vision, you're going to receive it because it's so much easier to manifest from a big perspective than a small because your target is so much wider. Think about it from the perspective of, oh my God, I have a thing I got to go to and I need to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks versus I got 4 months to lose 20 pounds. All good, right? You got some wiggle room. So you're going to be very specific, descriptive. You're going to use all of your senses. And this is going to help you understand exactly what you need to do to achieve your highest success. And then you're going to go really small. More important than the action, than the planning is the action, of course, but more important than the action is believing that you can do it. And if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to just keep manifesting more of what you don't want and less of what you do. So you're going to reverse engineer your goals into these small, bite-sized, actionable pieces. I want you to drill down small enough where you 100% believe that you can do this. This is going to build momentum. This is going to help you let go of old habits and celebrate every single time you achieve, because this 1% shift it's like the race of the tortoise and the hare. We're all used to being the hare, and I'm inviting you to be the tortoise. This strengthens your trust in self. This helps you stay in alignment with your big vision because you're doing one step forward at a time. Yes, you may have mindset issues that come up. Yes, you may have energetic issues that come up. Again, I'm happy to have a conversation with you to help you through this if you need help. The most important thing is I want you to have fun. Your only job in life is to enjoy life. So if any of this feels like a chore, you're not going to want to do it. Subconsciously, you're going to not want to do it. And you're just going to keep spinning your wheels wondering why I can't do this, because you don't want to be doing it. So make sure when you do this exercise, you're in a positive mindset. When you're writing your goals, as well as when you're saying them and when you're doing them, stay in that positive mindset, okay? Because remember, your subconscious mind listens to how you feel. So I want you to pause and ask yourself, how do I feel? Am I successfully going to complete this task? Do I believe it? Most of us run from pain. I'm inviting you to walk towards your pleasure, which is a very different way to move through life. This is where the lingering and the tasting and the depth and the richness occurs, because we realize, and I just said this at 5:55, and we realize there is no hurry. We're not surviving anymore how we're hardwired to be. We're thriving. And the good news with this is it's so much easier to anchor in and move towards a positive thought. It's like 100 times more powerful than a negative thought. So it's easier to retrain your mind based on your anchoring of trust, putting yourself in the right frame of mind to achieve your goals. So as we go to the next slide, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think in your life right now, you are achieving your goals because you're running from pain or because you're walking towards your pleasure? Something to think about. So your homework is you're going to infuse positive thoughts into your daily routine a few times a day. And you're going to combine this with a powerful emotion when you're thinking about your goal. And this is going to compound your success. Okay. So you have a worksheet to create your goals. Please go ahead and do this. And if you want to tag me in any of your socials so I can celebrate with you, I would love to do that. Okay. We've got about 10 more minutes here and then we should be done. So the last piece of this is we're going to make our schedule. Okay. So once you know your big dreams, which are easy to follow, you're going to prioritize your wellness by making your schedule. So you're going to prioritize your activities in order of importance. Your personal well-being goals are your number one priority. Filling your cup first balances your energy, and I'll let you in on a little secret. This gives you more energy to help and serve others instead of taking energy from other people. Your cup will overflow when you take care of yourself first. So a super simple way to figure out how to prioritize is ask yourself, does this bring me joy? Yes or no? Is this going to bring me joy in the future? Yes or no? And if either of those answers are no, scrap it. So then you're going to schedule your activities in order of importance. I understand in the real world, we have jobs, we have children, we have lives. This is a template. This is not the golden rule, but this is a way to bring a different structure and a balance to how you're moving through life. Okay. So your top priority is your non-negotiable needs. Prioritizing your cup first, your wellness. This is your solid foundation. Then your wants, anything that can be moved personally, professionally, commitments. And then your low priority is really anything that can be delegated. Housekeeping, groceries, errands. And then the last thing you're going to want to do is reflect and realign daily or weekly. So what worked, what didn't, what can be improved. You're going to revise your schedule, aligning it to your big dream. You're going to keep tweaking and keep course correcting. Remember, it's a big vision. It's a long game. You stay in the lane of the long game, it's coming, okay? So here's some examples of some daily non-negotiable self-care goals that you can incorporate into your life. And again, you may be doing some of these already. Some of these may be new, but I guarantee that you can create a deeper, richer experience with any of these. Check-ins. Literally, I had to schedule daily check-ins into my phone to remind me to pause and notice how I was feeling when I was first prioritizing my wellness. No judgment, just how am I feeling? Keeping your space clean, decluttering, okay? So this could look like not reaching for your phone when you first wake up in the morning. How many of you do that? This could be lingering in dream state in the morning, because that's when you get those best intuitive downloads. This could be setting a beautiful bedtime routine where you leave your phone in another room, or you turn off technology, or you read or meditate before bed. Grounding, cleansing your space, cleaning your home, cleaning up your diet. Anything that you feel is priority right now to create clean space. Release the energy, like we talked about at the beginning, so a higher vibrational energy can take its place. Say goodbye to multitasking. If I can leave you with one thing, that is the masculine container that holds you. Like women, yes, we're very good at doing all of this, and that's amazing. And men are very like transactional one-to-one. And if we can rise in our masculine leadership to hold us in these containers where we are intentionally focusing on one thing at a time, this is going to help you be less distracted, help you stop skimming the surface, getting to the next thing, have deeper, richer relationships, not make as many mistakes so you don't have to go back and do something again. Intentional breaks throughout the day, mindfulness, meditation, breath work, journaling, technology breaks, stopping and having a healthy snack, having a chat with a friend, putting on some music, whatever you can do to just change up the pattern so that you stay intentional in the experience, enjoying the experience, not skimming the surface. You want to purposely bring the awareness into that space. Getting outside. So many studies show even just 15 minutes of outside time a day is astronomical for your health. And I would highly advise doing this without your phone. Have an appreciation and go for intentional meditative walks. Oh my God, this changed my life. Visualizing your success. Think about the professional athlete. How many times are they visualizing shooting the shot, winning the goal, getting the medal? You're so much in that space of that big vision, big dream, that when you're actually in it for real, there's really no difference because you've already been in it. That goes back to the big dream. Taste it, touch it, feel it, be in it. Because then that gap shrinks and it's closer than you think. And then the last piece is gratitude and appreciation. These literally changed my life, hands down. When I started asking myself, what are you grateful for today? What are 3 things that you're grateful for? And it has to be about you, like me. At the very beginning, I couldn't find very much. And it was, well, I've got a roof over my head and I've got water and, the power's on. And now I do this with my kids and I love the answers that they give me. Reflect on how your day was so that you can set yourself up for a beautiful night's sleep where the most healing takes place. Again, use all of your senses, bring that visualization into it. Be in that space that you want. So a reminder for you, the best practices for success as you strengthen and reprioritize your schedule and your wellness based on all of these things that we've spoken about, no more than 3 goals a day. You don't want to overload your system. Rome wasn't built in the day. The pyramids weren't built in a day. They were built 1 brick at a time, okay? The tortoise and the hare, slow and steady wins the race. And we all come from this society of hustle, burns us out and exhausts us and makes us miserable. Taste the journey. If I'd said this to myself 5 years ago, I wouldn't have understood it, but now there's such a rich appreciation for just honoring where you are and creating space to just receive more of the beautiful gifts that all the moments of life have to offer. Don't overload your system. So 3 goals a day. Write them out in advance. This is the masculine energy of action and accountability so that you can hold yourself accountable. You're going to act, you're going to plan, but you're also going to action. Okay. And you're going to be flexible with your time. This is a guide. This isn't the hard and fast rule. And don't forget to celebrate every single time. We don't celebrate enough. I always envision my little guy who's 4 learning to ride a bike, and he was getting on his bike with the training wheels and he fell, and it's like, just keep going, you can do it, keep going, keep going. And every time we just encouraged and encouraged, you could just see him puffing up his chest like, all right, I got it, we're good. No, I don't need you, mom, I'm good. Woohoo, training wheels off, let's go. Right? And he would have done it on his own, would have taken him a lot longer, but with that encouragement, that energy, that forward momentum, helped collapse time on his success. And this is what we did with a client, Claudia. We literally did a half-day business planning session with her. We looked at where she was in her business and where she wanted to grow, and we rearranged her schedule. We rearranged her priorities based on what she wanted, based on her truth, not anything outside of her. She wanted to grow her business. She wanted to drive more revenue, but she wanted to have more fun. And literally within a couple of weeks, she had an ROI on her investment. Clients were coming to her out of nowhere. But most of all, she's like, oh my God, this is so much fun again. Thank you. I didn't do anything. I just listened to her and we just rearranged what she was doing. We got rid of what was noisy and we created space for her soul to just breathe more beauty into what she wanted to experience. And it was wonderful. So your homework is you're going to take that worksheet, the Dream Big worksheet, and then you're going to marry it with the second worksheet, which is called 21-Day Up Level. Okay. So here you're going to look at your key areas of your life. You're going to ask yourself, what am I ready to change right now? I want you to commit to 1 to 3 wellness actions that you can do for 21 days, because it takes 21 days to make a new habit. Share with your friends, share with your family members, share with your team, tag me, share me. The more celebration, the more you're going to positively anchor that new habit. Celebrate your success. Okay. I'm here if you have any questions. I'm a life and a business mentor. I do, like I said, weekly feminine energy led business leadership circles. I have a whole wellness community. I have a business consulting agency, but I'm also a human, and I'm more than happy to celebrate anything that you're celebrating that you've achieved. So you can book a call with me. I think my email is on the last slide. Some examples of what you can do for your activities would be maybe just looking at your schedules, your plans, your systems. Maybe you just want to bring a daily meditation or a deeper meditation into your practice. Maybe you want to just do more stretching or working out or reading more or getting off your phone more or having more intimate conversations with friends and family members. You're going to know what works best for you. So in summary, we've up-leveled your wellness. You've learned how to deepen your trust in self-leadership, and you've learned how to create more of this inner balance and harmony and partnership with your energy. So even though I've shared with you how leadership harmony will accelerate your success, I really want to make sure that you're careful of the following things that might come up, okay? So make sure your dreams are crystal clear. Number 1, you want to at least know what direction you're going. Don't work too hard on the wrong things. Your time and your energy are vital to your success. Ensure your masculine and your feminine energy work together in partnership. Slow down. I cannot stress this enough. Integrate what you've learned before you jump to the next thing. And most people get unconsciously stuck here. So if you do find that you're looping in old patterns and habits, you may still experience poor work-life boundary balance issues, and you may experience negative self-talk, lack of forward momentum, control issues, poor boundaries, codependencies. You may still seek external validation and direction. So wherever you are in your journey, leadership harmony will help. And wherever you are, know that you are supported. You can either choose to remain in the world that you know or trust that which you know deeply to be true and create your new reality right now. This unknown space is where the magic happens. This is your exact 0 point of change. This is your surrender moment where you find the key. It's going to unlock your next level of being wealthy in all areas of your life. And it starts with you choosing to create change. This is why harmony is so important to our success as individuals, as partners, as a community. It creates space to balance, to connect, to shine, to expand, to collaborate, to innovate, to change our world. And it starts with you. To trust in harmony, to believe in yourself, to be the change with grace, with compassion, with love. And I celebrate each and every one of you who are choosing to be our future right now. So I have a final question for you. What's one word you are going to take home with our time here together today? Feel free to share it in the comments, or if you're watching on replay, you can tag it in there as well. What's one word you're going to take home with our time here together today? Thank you. So my presentation is now done.